Hi everyone, my name is Beckie Morris. I am the production manager and a set designer for Theatre Orangeville. If you've been to Theatre Orangeville in the last 5 years or so, you surely will have seen one of my sets on the stage, which made me one of the people that this question of the week came to. The question was, what factors need to be considered when designing a set? Which is a great question because everything has to start somewhere. I start with a script, and the script will give you so much information. It tells you the whole story. It tells you the intended setting. It also tells you the fundamental things that are required to put on the show. Sometimes things need levels. Sometimes you could even need, say it's a kitchen sink, or you would need a bed. But if there is that central object that is required to perform the action, the script will tell you that as written. Then you can start working with the designer and the director to figure out what the vision of the show is. Is it going to be abstract or is it going to be realistic? A really important thing to consider is that you don't start putting things in just because they're neat. Everything has to serve the play, and if it doesn't function, if it doesn't serve it, it doesn't have any place on the set. The second part of the question was, what was the most difficult set to design in this space? And I racked my brain on this one because there have been a lot of really great creative challenges. But I think my favorite challenge was a show we did about 7 years ago by Gary Kirkham called Queen Millie of Galt. The story is about a woman named Millie from Galt who falls in love with Edward, Prince of Wales in 1919 and claims to be his wife. It's such a charming love story, and it grabbed my heart and sparked my imagination. But I struggled with figuring out how we were going to create a setting for this beautiful story in all of the locations that it needed. It required a garden, inside of a house, inside of a train car, in a ballroom. Eventually, I went back to things that have been done before, and we looked to ancient Greek mode called periaktoi, which are these three-sided units, large triangles, that have different scenery. And what we did is we built these 5-foot wide by 12-foot tall, beautiful gold gilded picture frames, and in each one of those went something that looked like an oil painting. And they were put together in triangles with wheels so that it would spin. So each of the units had 3 sides. Kathy Dalton did the painting on it, and there are these big, beautiful gardens and abstract looks at the inside of the train car. And the set really became another character in the story because as the actors interacted with it, they would turn it from scene to scene, and they would turn them as they entered and turn them as they exited, and they moved so beautifully that they just became part of the story. I hope this answers your question.